90.3 FM. That's what we're talking about today. Despite receiving an estimated 9 trillion naira in Federation Accounts Allocation Committee FAAC inflows in 2025, state governors are facing mounting criticism from labor unions, civil society groups, and opposition parties over what many describe as a widening gap between soaring revenues and limited improvements in citizens' welfare. FAAC allocations to states surged by over 2 trillion naira in 1 year, according to an analysis of Federation account disbursement data published by the National Bureau of Statistics and collated by different media agencies, highlighting the scale of the revenue windfall that flowed to subnational government in 2025 amid higher federation inflows. The sharp rises triggered criticism from labor organizations and the opposition political parties, with the Nigeria Labour Congress warning that higher allocations have failed to deliver meaningful improvements in citizens' welfare due to weak governance, misplaced priorities, and corruption at state level. This is what we're going to be talking about today on Matters and Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. You can call me Solo, you can call me Mr. Solo, you can call me Souls, you can call me Mr. Souls, but officially I am Solomon of them. Welcome to Matters. If you're just tuning in, this is Matters on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Today we're talking about governors facing fire and criticism over 9 trillion naira FAAC inflow. Talking about big money with little impact. This is what we're going to be talking about today. And joining me to help analyze this is Dele Fanimo. He's in-house and analyst, of course, is a public and current affairs analyst, of course, with years and years and years of experience in journalism, in media, in reportage. Mr. Fanimo, thank you very much for joining us on Matters today.
Good afternoon, Solomon. Good afternoon, our listener at home.
Okay, so it is no secret that there's a whole lot of money coming in Nigeria now, especially since a fuel subsidy was removed, and the federal government is part of their announcing their achievement. Some say it is propaganda, but I mean it is clear that a whole lot of money is coming in to the coffers of the executive's arm. I mean, the last I heard, the lowest local government is getting is 2 billion naira every month. The lowest, the last I heard.
2 billion.
Is it much more than that?
It's lower than that.
That's what I heard. I think that like a month ago or so, a local government in Nigeria.
No. When you multiply 774, there are 774
local
constitutionally recognized
yes,
local governments
yes.
in Nigeria. When you multiply it by 2 billion, let's put it at the average. That's how much.
I mean, government.
That's close to 1 trillion.
Yes.
If a local government is, the sharing formula favors the state now.
I mean, that always it has always favored the state.
You know, the federal government. I think federal government gets maybe 52 point something. Then states 40, I think 30 something percent, and then local government some 20 something percent. But overall, you see, the local government may not get as much, but who owns the money allocated to local government? It's still the state. That's why governors will not allow financial autonomy in
for local governments.
The only governor that has ceded local government funds to local government as we speak is Borno State Governor Zulum. From last month, he said he will be paying directly local government funds to the local government chairman to do what they are supposed to do. But in other states, what they do is when allocation comes, if it's 500 million naira to local government A, the state governor can decide to give that local government 100 million.
Okay.
Pocket the 400. Meanwhile, the local government chairman will sign for 500. And the rest 100 million naira that reside with local government, it is still the governor that will tell the local government that you have to do this particular project based on the proposal of his crony, and how much the local government chairman will pay to that contractor, regardless of need for that project in that locality or otherwise. At the end of the day, the local government chairman is just an appendage. It's just a surrogate. He
Just
doesn't
an
have
apron
a
of the
say
governor.
on what goes on in his local government. So that's why most local government chairmen, they stay more at the state capital
Than the local government.
because
capital.
they cannot answer some questions that will be posed by the local government people in their domain. Because they cannot openly tell the community members that this is how much the governor gave me out of my allocation.
Okay.
And because they cannot lie, so they rather stay off. It's as bad as that. So most stealing happens around these funds, because some governors are now very smart. They no longer go for the state resources, they go for local government resources. So for me, it is a tall dream to cede financial autonomy to local governments. That's where the sleaze starts from. There was a governor in this part of the country that a local government chairman challenged him. Now, I can't be on paper collecting 100 million and then you only release 20 million and you want me to come and sign for 100 million. If anything comes and EFCC comes, how do I explain? Will it not be my signature against whoever is writing a petition against me? And it became a serious problem. In the process, only God knows how it happened. The local government chairman, who has an identical twin, the identical twin was mistakenly assassinated.
Wow.
That's how serious. A colleague of mine, because he challenged a governor in Ogun State, they removed him as local government chairman. And that's what goes on. And so that's why some governors will never, until recently, there are some governors that were in the state for 8 years, they never conducted a local government election. They were just putting people there as administrator. And who will you be betrothed to if not the person that put you there?
Definitely.
Even when you know that you don't merit it. So that has been the administration in the local government. Now, coming to the state, it's unfortunate that it's late in coming, but I think it's better late than never. All these times we are dissipating energy on the federal government. I am not saying federal government has done well.
I mean, it starts from the head, doesn't
You
it?
understand? I'm not saying the federal government has done well. In some areas, the federal government should be scored very low. But what about a state governor pre-2023 May 29 when subsidy was abolished, was getting between 8 and 12 billion monthly allocation. Today, that same state is now getting close to 100 billion. Wouldn't you have expected that something meaningful would have come from that state?
Yes.
But some of these states are still backward. Governors like Nasarawa State Governor and 2 other governors that cannot put on my finger now came out in the open that we no longer borrow money, that we don't have any problem paying salaries, that what we have is more than enough to do our job. Yet some states, as we speak, are yet to pay the new minimum wage of 70,000 that cannot even take you to the nearest bus stop, not to take you home. And there is no meaningful infrastructure. For instance, in my state, I come from Ondo State. I stand to be corrected by anybody. There is no infrastructure development in Ondo State since this administration came into being that will justify more than triple the allocation that has been coming to that state. In that state, they have access to royalty by some oil companies. They share out of the 13% derivation from oil producing states. They share federal allocation. They share VAT. They also generate internal revenue. Yes. Yet, what is happening in Ondo State cannot be compared to what is happening in Oyo State that is close to Ondo. In fact, it's not even comparable to what is happening in Osun that is of less allocation and not on 13% derivation. So, those governors, incidentally, why I'm even doing a peer review between Oyo and Ondo is the fact that the governor of Oyo State, who incidentally is from Ibadan, Seyi Makinde, his mother is from Akure, the state capital, so he knows what goes on in Ondo State. Shouldn't the governor of Ondo State do a peer review with a state like Oyo that is not far? In less than 2 hours from Akure, the state capital, you'll be in Ibadan. Now, the two are not comparable in any way. You want to talk about all the modern bus terminals that Seyi Makinde has built in Oyo State? You want to talk about wholesale ownership of Lautech University that had been taken over by the state government, and all the liabilities thereof had been paid by the Oyo State government? Is it the 13th month that the man has been paying? Is it the constant salary payment and pension to the pensioners? Is it the clearance of backlog of pensions, arrears and gratuity? Is it internal roads that nobody could imagine a government will remember, not to talk of touching, that the man has built? Is it federal road that the man has used the state resources just for the state to be comfortable, regardless of the fact that those roads are federal roads? Not just mention as many as you want to mention. Is it the renovation of secondary school? You stay in Ibadan, so I stay in Ibadan. So you know better than anyone. My wife works in Ibadan. She works in UCH, so I understand some of these things. Today, you cannot compare my state with better revenue coming to its pocket. It's light years as an oil producing state. Yes, it's light years very far behind to Oyo State. So if you cannot compare my state with Oyo State, would you want to mention Lagos State? The population of Ikeja and Agege alone will overwhelm the whole of my state. So what exactly is going on? These governors are so lazy. They rely on federal allocation. They cannot think out of the box. They don't know where to go. They just sit pretty, go to commissioned roads. In fact, in some states, what they use in commissioning roads is even far higher than the amount spent on that road in terms of media and publicity and visibility. Yeah. Is that what is commissioning of road? Is it your personal money you use in constructing the road? Makinde never opened any road. Once the road is motorable, he opened it and people drive over the road without any fanfare. Without no fanfare and media promotion. Not at all. Although it's bad business for us as media practitioners, because we need that oxygen to breathe. I know. What? Let people do what they should do. In this advent of AI, you see a governor that will construct 5-kilometer road and magnify it to 50-kilometer road, and those of us that are outside the state will start clapping. Until when those inside the state will now tell you that it's a lie. Come and see. I've witnessed in my when I was in a rented apartment in Ibadan, there is this road in our community where I lived. We begged the local government chairman to construct this road. He promised that he was going to construct it. Till he left office, not a sweeper came to sweep the road, not to talk of grader to come and grade the road or put in asphalt. The new local government came in, the chairman came in, we went to him to plead again. The man said they should go and bring the file for that road. When they brought it, you need to see pictures of a well-paved road with tall drainage system. Wow. Whereas, and money was allocated and paid to a phony contractor. Wow. For a road that we never saw ordinary broom or shovel. That's what is going on in this country. So everybody should focus on these governors. Not even the chairman for now. Let's focus on them. Let us know what they are doing with the humongous resources at their disposal. I mean, like you said before, we flog the federal government too much. It's time we start. We should also dissipate some energy to the state governors. The governors, and you'll be shocked the kind of sleaze going on, because they know that the focus is on federal government all the time, and that nobody's looking their way. And as you said, that's just FAAC allocation, you know. Yes. There's also security vote that doesn't even. There is. Do you know that the more the crisis in your domain, the more your security vote will rise? Oh wow! Okay. Yes. That's why in some places, Boko Haram, kidnapping and all that will not abate, because it's more money to the governor. To the governors in that state. In that state. Wow. I'm hearing this for the first time. Go and find out. You see, a lot of Obasanjo did us in by heavily monetizing the political space. Before Obasanjo came, what was security vote? Before Obasanjo came, what was constituency? I'm glad you're saying this, because I mean that's why. What is the business of legislators in awarding contract? And that's why we, the journalists, the media, were here to remind people, because human beings tend to forget things that happened. Suffer collective amnesia. Yeah, 2-3 years ago. It looking more like, I mean, I'm not standing in for the APC government, but Nigerians are all of a sudden beginning to think that the corruption, the problem in Nigeria started during the APC government. No, of course, the current government will take the bash most of the time. They take the bash, but nobody wants to trace it back in time and in history. That's why we are here as media practitioners to remind the people. Yes, to remind them. Like a few times I've said, like, the reason why APC government succeeded with their propaganda was because what was going on at that time was true. They only exaggerated. Of course. The propaganda didn't come from thin air. No. They utilize the facts on ground to magnify their propaganda. That's why a lot of people believed it, that APC government is going to be the savior, only for them to now be 100 times worse than what happened. Yeah. I was saying the Obasanjo government had laid the foundation of what's going on. There were lots of corruptions going on. The same Atiku that they are celebrating today. Atiku was in charge of BP, was in charge public enterprise. He was the one that brought El-Rufai into Obasanjo's government, where he was just managing himself in UK. And in 8 years of Obasanjo, $16.something billion was spent on power sector. Where is power sector today? We are still reeling under 5,000 megawatts. If you push 5,000 megawatts to the national grid, it will collapse the next second. And now imagine if 8 years we have spent $16 billion, which is enough more than enough to build 4 hydropower stations. An hydropower station generates between 3,000 to 4,000 megawatts. Obasanjo laid the foundation of Mambila Power Project. Up till now, that project has not taken off. 20 years after. Why? Nobody's asking questions. Was money paid to the contractor? At a point, they dug into the history of the contractor. World Bank had blacklisted that particular contractor before we gave that contractor that project. You can see a lot of. That's why sometimes I tend to withdraw to my shell when people talk of the now without going back to then. Because if you don't know where you are coming from, you can't navigate your future.
True. But people are just concerned with now, and then when I now said, look,
if we are not concerned with the now, why will an article that his principal wrote nasty things against, and he couldn't go to court to challenge those nasty things, now come as a serial and people are still clapping? In my lifetime, I was old enough to know my left to my right, from my right, when Atiku was customs area controller, and he allowed 53 suitcases to come in, even when they have shut down the airport. And up to today, nobody has asked question about that. That was as far back as when Buhari was in government as a military head of state, 1984, December 31st, 1983 to 1985, when Babangida took over from Buhari. And nobody has answered. Till he retired, nobody asked those questions. 16 billion power project that was directly under him.
That's Atiku.
Yes, nobody has answered questions. Yes, as vice president, nobody has answered questions. And then this man is still coming in my lifetime, not in the generation of my grandchildren, to say he is the cleanest person that want to rule this country. And some people are keen behind him. You ask yourself, what kind of amnesia is that? What kind of amnesia?
And then when you talk, they'll say during the good luck Jonathan time, these were like during the things were better. I mean, despite the criticism we're having in the Obasanjo era, things were better than in the good luck Jonathan time.
That's what you say.
And then good luck Jonathan time, Obasanjo now became a god because things were better in the good luck Jonathan time. And then the Tinubu Buhari regime came, and all of a sudden we are celebrating good luck Jonathan as if he's god. And
somebody that they said he was clueless. Somebody that was said to be clueless, suddenly is now the Messiah that should come and rescue us.
Because we seem to forget
because most of the time we suffer that amnesia.
We seem to forget what happened 5-6 years ago.
We suffer that collective amnesia. And when you come on here like this and you begin to tell them some of these things, some will learn. Some will just close their eyes, close their minds, because they are sold to the propaganda of the day.
Yes.
But that's why somebody like me would not come on here and begin to romanticize what is not. I would rather say the truth.
I mean, it has been from bad to worse, one administration to another.
That is it.
Until the APC government came in and now blew it up. And
because why? Most of these people that are calling themselves messiahs today, at one time were part of the rot in the system. El-Rufai, since he came back from UK and joined Obasanjo's government, he was minister for how many years? He was in charge of BP. From that he became minister, and from that he went back to Kaduna to become governor for 8 years. The only time he has suffered out of government fear or syndrome is between 2023 and now, and suddenly he's washing himself clean of the rot in the past. Both in APC and PDP.
At least one good thing came out of it is been exposing lots of secrets. I mean, it's not like it's not like we didn't know about them.
Some of us, we don't believe some of those things unless we take a second look at some of these things, because it's forever a disgruntled element. If during that plenary session, when minister designates were told to show up at the National Assembly, if he had been told to take a bow and leave, it would be a different song today.
Yeah, it would.
So people like that, except you don't want to understand how the human mind works,
especially politics,
shouldn't be taken seriously. In fact, they should tell him to go and sit down. It shouldn't be one person that will say anything against any government in this country, no matter how worse that government is. Peter Obi can afford to say anything because
he did well as governor of Anambra State.
Up till now, if Peter Obi had been traced to have stolen money, it won't take this government or Buhari government at that time
to expose
him. It won't take them one minute. But up till now, in spite of all the backlash and everything, nobody has accused him of stealing
anything.
You understand? That's the kind of person we can talk about, that will talk and then people will listen to. Not the likes of Amici, not the likes of Rufai, not the likes of Atiku. And that's why I don't see the ADC contraption as a serious vehicle that can go up to 2027.
Because a lot of them, one time or the other, were part of the rot.
That's what I'm saying. But people don't think, they don't seem to understand some of these things.
You know, sometimes you think it's desperation. People are desperate for solution. They are grasping at straws. So you can't 100% blame the people. The people they're grasping at straws. Anybody that looks slightly as a messiah is accepted right now. If not for anything, just something to
look. There is a culture in the north
going on.
There's a culture in the north. If I tell you that I have stomach trouble and you want to offer me a particular drug or herbal concoction, the first thing I will ask you is, have you suffered the same fate before? If you said no, I won't take that drug.
How would you know it will help?
Because how do you know? So for me, you can't come to me to say you are now a born again even when you are holding Bible and the cross of the crucifix. In fact, I would doubt you more than somebody who is on the street doing this beer, whiskey, woman and everything. I would rather take that person to you, because these people, they have shown us that they are incapable of handling the affairs of this country. So if they come together, is this Aregbesola in Osun State? What he did in Osun State, Oyetola was trying to correct it. He couldn't finish because he didn't have second term.
Because
now
it was that bad.
Adeleke is now correcting those things, and Adeleke that we never gave a chance because they say he's a dancing governor. Now he has performed far better than Aregbesola that we thought would perform better. You imagine somebody just with a stroke of pen, you change Osun State to State of Osun. You know how much that thing cost the state government, because all the files, all the documents, everything, signpost would have to be changed. And then somebody else with his sanity came back and rubbished those spent resources, state resources, and return it back to Osun State.
I mean, Osun State, State of Osun.
Is that the problem of Osun people?
The semantics is even ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Is that you are translating English to Yoruba? You understand? Every language has its culture.
Yeah.
And it's not everything that you speak in your local language that can be translated to another language.
Yes.
There are some words that are better kept the way they are,
and that's why English people were very, very smart about it. There are some words that don't have an English translation.
Exactly.
They just left it there.
Left it there.
Like sachet.
Yes.
And stadium and stuff like that.
So you cannot see how base some people can be, and yet these are the people that we prop up as our leaders. And it is possible, I mean, it's almost impossible for anybody with ideas without money now to say you want to contest. To contest a ward councillor now today, you need an average of between 30 and 50 million.
And that's just to do consultation and
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The campaign is not there.
So imagine somebody whose salary for the total of 4 years or 3 years is going to spend in office is not up to 5 million, and he is now spending money to contest for that position for 50 million. Of course, you should know that it's going there to steal. And we are the electorate. We are the one that helps them.
Sure.
Somebody who had no house when he was contesting election and is giving you 10,000 naira to vote, just one vote. Shouldn't you ask that question, that where is this money coming from? How are you going to recoup it? But we never do that. So sometimes it's not the leadership alone.
That problem of now, something to now. What is?
And that's why I said it is not an excuse to, out of desperation, take some wrong decisions, because it's going to have a long-term effect on you, your children, and even your grandchildren.
Now, some persons have said that for all the advantages and all the goodness of democracy, people have said that's the disadvantage of democracy, when everybody have to be involved in decision making. You can imagine someone that cannot make decision for his life will now have to make a decision courtesy of vote that will affect millions of people. But then again, hey, nothing is 100% perfect though. So let's come back to the state governors. Some of them will point to some projects executed in their state as an excuse for this is what we've been doing, this is what we've been doing, this is what we've been doing. But critics will say a lot of those projects are white elephant projects that may or may not yield result in 30 years time, in 20 years time, you know. And then now it's like how many people will be alive to see, you know, the end product of that project. And you can also take a example from projects that have been earmarked for 20, 50, 16 years, and successive government will come to even those projects have now become will I say,
an albatross on the neck of the state.
And not just that, those projects have now become a money pits.
Yeah,
where they will now
piece of corruption,
you know.
Now let me tell you, the Oyibo man that said white elephant, I've not seen any white elephant anywhere in the world. It should be said that such projects are dead elephants, where everybody takes his knife and bucket to cut a slice. And that's what they do metaphorically. As soon as that elephant arrives dead, everybody picks his bucket and knife to cut his own slice. Now, you know, one of the greatest problem that is bedeviling us in the political space, that is affecting you and I and every other person on the street, is the fact that most of our politicians are so myopic and self-centered. Myopic in the sense that, go and find out any project that will outlive a governor, he will never embark on it, because he wants to commission that project and have his name engraved
in that project.
Look at airport in Ekiti. That Fayemi has not even finished up to 40%. He went on the eve of his departure. He went to commission that project and flew in a jet fighter that can land anywhere without a tower. Up till now, they are still battling with that airport. Years after he had left. That's about 4 years ago that he left. They're still battling with that airport. Another thing they will do is any project that will not make them shine, that has been identified with their predecessor, no matter how good that project is, they will shut it down.
They won't continue.
As if they don't know that government is a continuum.
That doesn't work in Nigeria, unfortunately.
You understand? So these are things that people should cry out and challenge these governors. Governors have been made to look like emperors in their various states. And unfortunately, when they cry to federal government has no power on either withholding their allocation or telling them how to spend their allocation, because it is statutory. Either you like the governor or not. It is only Obasanjo that decided to withhold local government funds against constitutional dictates. And eventually, when Yaradua came, what did he do? He released those funds in arrears. So, let nobody come and blame the federal government for what these governors are doing. They are executive governors. They have executive power. It is we that are in those states that should be challenging them. Keep them on their toes. Enough of harassing federal government. Once in a while, you can still bend over backwards and say, okay, you are not doing this right too. People should be educated enough to know what is in concurrent list and what is in exclusive list, so that you know where to point your finger. In an earlier intervention this morning, somebody was saying that it's federal government that did this. I said, look, the joint allocation that the state governors use to siphon local government money, it wasn't the state government or federal government that prompted it. Do you know the history behind this? The history behind it was during, I think, the military government era. That was when they established UBEC, Universal Basic Education Commission. And then states had SPEB, State Primary Education Board, which is now SUBEB. Now, at some point, federal government using the UPEC, which is the umbrella body of all the local government and the state government on primary education, said they wanted a list of the payroll of primary school teachers in every local government.
Wow, that's a lot.
Do you know what they did? This local government chairman, out of greed, they were thinking that the number of teachers will give them more money from the federation account. They padded the list.
So they're writing lots of ghost
in a local government that has only 500 teachers, they increased it to 2,000 teachers.
Wow.
After submitting all the lists with the expectation of more money at the end of the month, they forgot, because some of them are illiterate. You can be a PhD holder and still be an illiterate.
Educated illiterate.
Yes, because when you don't read, when you don't get yourself attuned to current realities, you suddenly become an illiterate with only the certificate as your paper. They didn't know that primary education is squarely on local government. So you know what they did? They now deducted the supposed salaries of the list of teachers they submitted. That was what brought about zero allocation to local government. So you said you have 2,000 teachers. You can't go back and say, Oga, I made a mistake.
They are 500.
That is, they were 500. So they were deducting 2,000 teachers' salary from their allocation. And almost out of 774 local governments in Nigeria, almost 600 were running on zero allocation with upfront debts every month. Now it became a big trouble. You know, the first thing they did, the local government chairman that were having zero allocation started complaining. And when nobody was ready to listen to their complaints, the next thing they did was to say, okay, all teachers should go to their local government of origin.
Wow.
Meanwhile, most times in the city center, those teachers in primary school are not from the city center.
Yeah. Because
their husband is a permanent secretary, a director, a finance controller, or everything. They reside in the state capital with their husband, but they are far flung in the village. By the time that one came, the civil servants who have their wives in primary school protested, and that was stalled. So it became a terrible situation for primary school teachers. They were being owed 9 months in some local governments, whereas some local governments that were honest enough to give the accurate figure were getting their allocation. They are even getting surplus. In a situation where you carry over 10 million naira debt in this month, some local governments that were honest and they are in the hinterland were getting, they were paying their teachers and they were getting surplus of 30-40 million.
Wow.
So to resolve that problem, primary school teachers were always on strike across the country. So they said, let us do a kind of pool. Give us all the local government funds. Let's deduct at source the number of teachers. After cleaning up the house and discovering ghost teachers,
ghost workers,
then we can now share according to. So what they do is, if it is 100 million naira that is coming to all the local governments in Lagos State, they first deduct salary of teachers from this 100 million. and then maybe you are left with about 40 million. So the 40 million will now be shared among the local government. That was what brought about the joint account allocation law committee. So it's not the creation of the federal government. It's just to bail them out. You understand? So you can see how corruption destroys system.
Yeah.
Corruption is not just stealing alone. Abuse of office is corruption. Manipulating figures is corruption. So it's not until when you dip your hand into the till and take money out. Giving undue advantage to people that are close to you.
Nepotism.
Yes, is corruption. So now you can now see where our problem lies. It's a very dicey situation.
It is.
It's a very dicey situation, and we don't even know how.
And we can multidimensional corruption.
So in all of this, let us concentrate on this, our governors. You will see that if we put them on their toes, they will do more than they are currently doing. Do you know that some states in this country, they are so backward that they are yet to integrate their IGR into electronic system. People still collect money and issue receipt on the counter, collect cash.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah.
In Lagos today, you pay to the bank and the receipt will be captured, but people are now still getting IGR individually with cash. So if you are supposed to pay 10,000 naira, the man can bargain with you, pay 2,000 naira to the government, give me 3,000, and you go away.
Now, because of time, another thing I wanted to talk about, I mean, this money coming in because of subsidy removal, and all like that. The question now is, what are the subsidies in Nigeria now? Because I mean, every country in the world have one, two, three things they subsidize for their citizens. In Nigeria, for a long time, it was oil. And then, I mean, even the subsidy itself, there's been a whole lot of controversy. We keep hearing different information of the
his son was convicted for 12 years as a result of all this rubbish.
We keep hearing different conflicting information about subsidy. Today we hear subsidy have been removed. Tomorrow we hear subsidies have not been removed. On that time we hear subsidy has been removed by just 60%. We don't even know. Even we as journalists, sometimes we don't even know what to report anymore. So that's what makes this particular question very, very weird, because I don't even know how to ask it. What do we subsidize in this country now? Now, I keep hearing that electricity
is still being
subsidized. And now the question is, how are they being subsidized? Because by the time you see before the prepaid meters, by the time you see the estimated NEPA bill,
it still exists.
Yes, for a lot of homes, yes. By the time you see the estimated NEPA bill, you begin to wonder. Some houses have not seen light for 5-6 months, but every month they keep getting estimated NEPA bill. And then, of course, for us that are using prepaid meters, the tariff, like I'm in band A, in my area.
Good for you. At least you have electricity constantly.
The money we have to switch. I mean, leaving the house,
the bigger the head, the bigger the headache.
I have to switch off my light, because I mean,
that's the culture that we have refused to embrace. If you are going out in the morning and you open your freezer, it's frozen, you switch all light until you come back in the evening. But even when you see security lights in the daylight, halogen lamps that consume so much, we see a lot of abuse of electricity.
No, the question is, how is the light subsidized when we still get this humongous tariffs?
Let me explain
to you. Estimated NEPA billing, and we supply electricity to other countries when we as Nigerians don't even have.
Let me explain to you how this subsidy came about. You see, and the high bills that are given to people that run under estimated billing. You see, the IBDC, I mean the discos, distribution companies.
Yeah. Now it has even become much more complicated. It was even simpler when it was NEPA.
Let me explain to you.
It was simpler when it was NEPA.
Let me explain to you. The discos, what they do is they stratify, which is why they have band A, B, C.
Yeah.
And then they also map areas.
Yes.
You see, the mapping is now translated to target.
Yes.
For their officials. So if, for instance, Ajao Estate is given to marketer, they will tell you they need 50 million at the end of every month to be generated. Meanwhile,
from that Ajao
Estate, they know, yes. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They know that because of shortfall in the power grid, that they may not be able to supply enough power to generate
that money
50 million, and they know that they are helpless in the situation of those who have meters, because nobody can bring you bill when you have meters.
Yeah,
it is what you use that you pay for.
Even the meters that
in the last 2 weeks now, because of construction in my area in Ibadan, we have not had light. So the last unit I used will just be there until the day they bring light. Even if they bring it 100 years from now, it will remain as it is. Now, they don't want to lose money, and that's why they will not supply meters to every home. So what they do is, if it is estimated that those who use prepaid constantly pay on the average 10 million naira, you know, there is a shortfall of 40 million.
Yeah.
That 40 million, either you use light or you don't use light to, will be shared among those with estimated billing. That's why your bill fluctuates even when you don't use their energy. I hope that is clear.
God help us.
But that's the reality.
God help us.
Now, on the issue of subsidy, per kilowatt, maybe 400 naira. But because of public outcry, they now make it for band C, they said 150 per kilowatt. I mean per kilovolt. You know there is a shortfall of 250 naira per kilovolt. Now, band B, which is higher, from 400 they said 250. What is the shortfall? 150. Band A, from 400 they said 350. What is the first shortfall? 50 naira plus 150 plus 250. How much is that? 450. That 450 is the subsidy.
Yeah, in their mind, that is subsidy. Let's just end it here, Mr. Fanimo.
But no, you see, for clarity, for the people out there to understand why subsidy is there. And then the generation companies, they have capacity of generating 7,500 megawatts to 8,000 megawatts. But the transmission company cannot wheel more than 4,500 at a go. What happens to the 3,000? It will just be filtered away, and it will be a loss. And for these gencos to stay afloat, government would have to pay for that wasted 3,000 megawatts. So you can now see where those trillions are coming from.
Now, before you go, there's I wanted us to. There's a statement here from our YouTube stream where someone said, in as much as N9tn Rufai supporters, but he has been somewhat remorseful in the past. and you begin to ask, how long will the remorse last? As soon as they get into government, it's like some of these people don't even know how politicians play their game.
Who is saying that Rufai is remorseful?
It's just a statement. He's been coming out against APC in his mind. That is being remorseful.
Would that be seen as being remorseful?
Yeah, that's his own interpretation of being remorseful.
It should be politisphobia. maybe polyphobia.
Oh, Mr. Fanimo, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time.
I want to listen to comments.
Okay. Okay, it's Daily Fanimo, an in-house analyst, public and current affairs analyst, of course, with years and years of experience as a journalist, and of course, as he will always say, as a reporter. The phone lines are on now, 0800700903903. Keep the messages coming in, 0700903903903. That's number 2 for you to call in, and our second line is 0803-692-9933. Again, 0803-692-9933. Let me call both numbers again. The number to call in, some people complain that I call the lines very fast. So 0700 903 903 903 and 0803 692 9933. You can also call or text us via WhatsApp, and our WhatsApp line is 081 717 56338. Again, 081 717 56338. Our first caller is on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello, Solomon.
Yes, sir. Welcome to
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell us where you're calling.
I'm the guest in the house.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is John Legend calling from Mushi.
Okay, John.
You see,
go ahead.
Exactly what the guests they are saying now is one thing that I know Nigeria have been suffering from, because what you use today to play a Nigerian man wayo today, you will still use the same formula, still playing wayo tomorrow or next tomorrow. That is why when some people talk here, I understand some people as if that I ask myself, do these people know about politics because you just enter politics now? Because I know in this particular government of democracy of during the first time of Obasanjo, it was the same Atiku Abubakar who used our money to go and buy around four for his girlfriend then, which everybody know, everyone is about it. Even when he asked him to build a stadium here in Abuja, he built it after finishing the stadium. The part of that stadium collapsed. Even when Obasanjo was accusing him a lot of things, crime he committed, he did not come and ask questions over it. He just ran away. So I didn't know when Obasanjo, Atiku Abubakar, became the saint that is what we thought is this quagmire we are today. Because we thought that Buhari will now sanitize Nigeria, Buhari will do everything. I know, I always tell people that the problem we are having today, it does start now. It started, this is the Obasanjo built the suffering we are suffering today. Tinubu and Buhari went to the school. Then Tinubu go and graduate on it. And that is what we are suffering today. It's whatever Tinubu is doing now. It is what he learned from Obasanjo. So if the Obasanjo really wants all things parading himself around, he was the problem of Nigeria, because I know how his government was run. Things were not even good then. Even before that is why Yar'Adua said that even the election that brought him to power, and he even proved it. He said it before Goodluck. Even when Goodluck was president of Nigeria, things were not even good then. So when people are talking about politics, the problem did not start now. Atiku, as long as people are still following Atiku in this particular government and the Aero5 and all of them, Nigeria, we should be ashamed of ourselves. We should cry for our life, because we don't even have a plan for this Nigeria to work.
Thank you. Hello.
So good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us in the way you're calling from, please.
And good afternoon to your guest.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
I am a bit confused. Do you know why I'm confused? We are celebrating now. The analysts are coming on radio to tell us that the governors are collecting so much money. But my question is this: what is the value of this money that we are being celebrated at this moment? Do you know why I'm asking that question? there was a time.
I don't even think anybody's celebrating the money. I mean, that
is what APC is using. And they are saying that,
obviously, what do you expect? Is the government of
you understand me? They are celebrating it. So there was a time in this country, 18,000 naira was the minimum wage. With that minimum wage of 18,000, a family will buy a bag of rice for 4,500, pay their rent, pay their children's school fees from that 18,000. Now it will sustain them for the tithe they pay in the church and in their mosque. For the next month, they are living and they are buying cars and building houses with that meager 18,000 as at that time. But now that the civil servants are receiving 70,000, that 70,000 cannot even buy a bag of rice. So can't you juxtapose it with the money they are celebrating, they are giving to the state governors today? Because everything we buy is in foreign currency. The governors are not in charge of monetary policy. They are not in charge of our exchange rate and the rest of other things. Are you not seeing that this money that they are being celebrated is worth nothing?
But here's the thing, though.
I'm with you.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. Some governors are still using even that small money to do something. I mean, we've talked about Abia State governor several times. I mean, this, haven't we? Abia State is collecting even less than a whole other state, and yet you still see the governor making good use of that money. Our analysts also even talked about Oyo State with what the governor of Oyo State is doing in Oyo State. So that is what we're talking about. So we're not here to debate the how huge or how small the money is. We are talking about what do you do with that money? How does that affect the life of your people? You wanted to say something?
Yes, I wanted to say.
Yes, yeah. Solo, please. Let me give you something straight here.
Okay.
Solo. Any governor that have the interest of the people at heart will work. That is just
and that's exactly what we are saying.
A state governor have the interest of the people. He did not come to play politics. Have you seen him in any political gathering? He's always focusing on his job. Okay? When you look at Makinde we are talking about here, Ibadan have been there. I have not been to Ibadan to see what he's doing. Okay? But I can tell you for free, if he is being used as an yardstick, you check his background. He's a businessman. He have been there as a businessman. He have made money for himself. So he have the interest of the people, his people at heart. So those who come to play politics will continue to play politics.
Okay,
with everything. Even if they get the American, even if you give them American economy, they will still play politics with it. That is just the truth. Anybody who have the interest of, that is why Nigeria should look for the people who have the interest of the people. Let us not continue to celebrate there is so much money, we should hold our governors accountable. The money means nothing, absolute nothing. How much is the listing today? Just oppose it with the 18,000 as I did before now. You see, that money is nothing. Okay. We shouldn't be come here to say that they are receiving more money and on that. We should hold our governors responsible.
Thank you.
This is absolute nonsense for me. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir, you are not permitted to use that kind of foul language on air in case you want to intervene next time. Now, let me tell you, his basis of argument runs contrary to what we are debating here.
Exactly.
What we are debating here is that even if it's 1 naira, juices judiciously.
Exactly.
And these governors, they go to Abuja to collect money. They never said they should convert it to dollar before they can spend. If you are paying your worker's salary, the worker does not import. He goes to the local market to buy grocery. He goes to the local market to buy his fabric and all that. So not everybody is a businessman. Not everybody is an importer.
Yeah.
If you are looking at it from the prism of being an importer, then Makinde shouldn't have done what he has done. Abia governor shouldn't have done what he has done. Yeah. Zulu, with all the crisis in his state, is still better than some of these governors that are not having any issues in their state. Yeah. Then somebody like Enugu State governor shouldn't be there, because these are the people that are working. And when you want to do a content analysis, you do peer review. You just oppose one with the other. And I've also explained here that, look, some people get more revenue than the others.
Yes.
And they are not as good as when you want to leverage on performance. They are not as good as. So what has exchange rate got to do with this argument?
Yeah, and
there's no place in this argument.
And I remember you also talking about the governors depending so much on money coming from the federal government.
Account. What are they doing
in their states to generate money?
What infrastructure are they placing for businesses to thrive in their various states?
I mean, it's one thing.
Do you need dollars to come and construct road? Do you need dollars to provide electricity? Do you need dollars to clear your sewage system? Do you need water to dollar to buy things for your workers?
Okay, let's make this call.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name, where you're calling from, please.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Tell us the name, where you're calling from.
Good afternoon. If you can,
I can hear you. Tell us your name.
You people are hearing me. This is Daniel from Mafuluku. Daniel Bona from Mafuluku. Okay, quick one. I will want to say that the money these governors are taking or are collecting, everybody should stop saying how much is the money. Like you guys rightly pointed out, OT is working. So how much is he collecting? OT is working. And few other governors that I know that are doing something. We all know. Like the other caller was saying, this is the governor that has the heart of the people. Then you are still going back to say the same thing. So if truly the governors have the people's heart, or they have the mind to do what they've been elected to do, of course there's no money that they will give to them that they will work with it, honestly speaking. So let's just call it that until when we have how will I put it, when we have people that are ready to serve, ready to work for the people. That's just the truth. So some comes to get money, or to you see something tangible going on in their states, honestly speaking. So to me, it's not I wouldn't say I'm supporting the current party on that is on now, but let's say the truth. Are they not collecting more money? What is being done with the money they are collecting? Then secondly, I don't know if this is also in the news or part of your topic about the PDP, one governor or this other faction, because I was listening to
we have to give space for others. We have to give space for others to talk. We don't have anything to do with
when
PDP.
People misinform the general public. Even if
Sorry. Hello,
good afternoon.
good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us in the way you're calling from, please.
My name is Madam calling from Angigi.
Okay, Madam Eunice, go ahead, sir. All right, Madam, talk to us.
The other man is arguing how much is the government getting. The federal government told Nigerians that they are getting more money than before.
Which is
People
true.
want to work. People want to work, they will work. All these governments, they are wicked. They are staging. They have the money in their possession. They don't want to spend the money for the state. Like Ogun State, I will shout out Ogun State too. Is the backward state. This is fresh. I don't know whether man is using the federal government money for. They have to call me and ask him, no road for the work of the state. Talk of those states, they want to give actually to do instead of him to work. Look at what Fashola did in Lagos State. Is it not a human being? Is it not the same money from federal government? See what OT is doing. And this man, Makinde, or your state, other governors, what are they doing with the money? What are they doing with the money? All of them are want to go inside the APC and hide there to need the money more and sit on top of the money. At the end of the day, nobody will be probed. The money will be in their possession to do whatever they like. To go and buy houses for abroad, sponsoring their children. Now their children now is not taking over from them, using 30 million, 50 million to buy stuff for them, while their state is suffering for everything. No infrastructure. Is it good? They are wicked though. If the state is not working, meaning that the federal government is not working, if state is developing, if we see affect the federal government that federal government are working.
Okay.
If we say that we will prove that the federal government are working.
Okay.
All these governments, they have to call them in order. Thank you, Solomon.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello?
Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please. Hello, I can hear you. Tell us your name or where you're calling from.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
Mr. Udemo, calling you from the usual caller.
Okay, go ahead.
I greet you for the good work.
Thank you.
Actually, I met this program somehow late, so I don't know exactly the content of your bulletin.
Now, quickly, we're talking about the monies. Since subsidy was taken off, the state governors get much more money than before. The problem is, what are they using with this money? There are no tangible evidence that these governors are getting. So that's what we're talking about.
If I'm a person here, I want to ask if I may pick some things from whatever report or news from the 12 o'clock bulletin. Can I?
No, this is what we're talking about today, please. We're not straying from the. Hello.
Hello, Mr. So.
Yes, so welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your name? Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm UC calling from my Papa area of Lagos State.
Okay, UC, go ahead.
Yeah, Solomon, I appreciate your guest there. His analysis are always on point.
Thank you.
I mean, if the right from when I heard him when he spoke about this oil issue, that should be around last year, I was so blessed by his level of experience in the media space. Now, Solomon, I think the problem we have as a people, I don't know whether our race as black people is the problem, or the way we are created the problem, or where we come from is the problem. Look, we struggle with everything that is existing around humanity. We don't have sight, we don't have vision, we don't have foresight. That is our problem. Now, a man with foresight and insight, with quality vision, if we give him 3 weeks, he will say his blueprint that is running on the ground, fast developing. So look, I don't believe in politics. I believe in leadership and governance. One US author, they said, governance is all about directing, perfecting, and providing the necessities. Once you do that, you're a great leader. Solomon, the current regime right now in the center, when he was in Lagos State as a governor, what did he do? Right now in the center, what is he doing? Is he doing anything reasonable? He's just busy there playing politics and doing nothing substantial for we to see. Solomon, the problem with we as Africans, I don't know whether we are wired to fail as a people. Look at in Enugu State, I could remember when Chikimareko was there, he did literally, he left. And Sullivan came in and did wonderfully well. Now, Mba has come, but my own issue is this with development, what we call development. I am tired of road construction and building only infrastructures. Solomon, redevelopment is in the context of economic development. If you remember, when we were rounding up the year, when appropriation piece of state and federal government was being submitted to their fellow houses, there was this about 10 states in the country. They were not able to finance their budget. They had to borrow money to finance the budget. Last time I spoke with you, I told you that the country is financially bad, cash bad. I've never seen any country in this world where the budget is richer than the GDP. I've not seen any country on earth like that.
We have to go now. We have to go. Thank you.
So,
thank you very much.
yeah.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name. Where you calling from?
Yeah, Mr. Fellow.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just
Your name?
on the what we have on the program talking about the money that is being allocated to the governors. Only a man who has vision can be able to do work to utilize the money that's being allocated to him. Just like we are talking about, maybe can someone in any way revive Nigeria in maybe 4 years? Yes. It is little possible, even if it is even if they revive it in a very good way, they will go to a level which will just have an maybe example. Look at safety of Abia State. Abia State is one of the worst states in Nigeria, which we know before. But now, under 2 years, look at what the man is doing. Abia State is now stronger than Lagos, even more better than Lagos. In everything, infrastructure and maybe development. So, they don't have vision. All they are after is to make the money. And when they make the money, they do away with it. Take it for example, if someone will use billions to buy a ticket, they just want to have it back.
Okay.
So they don't have any vision. That's the problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Chibuzo. Okay. Okay, let me take a break from those calls and read some messages. Lots of the messages are pouring in. This is Chima from Surulere. I'm so disappointed that a lot of people believe in the APC propaganda of more money. Let me ask, what is the value of the so-called more money to state and local government? The value of money is what the money can buy. Inflation and devaluation of rented our money very useless in the face of spiraling information. Okay. Good afternoon. Wow, great job by your analyst. That assassination of an identical twin must have happened in Ekiti. I recall a similar incident where, while I was there, as an undergraduate. Nigerian politicians are evil, bright from Surulere. Okay. This is a great analysis as always. What trending on the okay, no, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. At the local government areas, the local streets are in sorry conditions. We only find that the state capitals are the only developed local government areas. Why can't the local government be allowed to develop everywhere within the state to look like the state capital by giving them their allocated funds? Why? Yeah, that's the question indeed. Why? Big souls, you say God will help us in this country. I say God has done the needful. He will not do anything again for us. It's now left for us to hold our leaders responsible. Sheikot from Itire. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon and your guests in the studio. Nigeria will be good again when we bury all ethnic differences and choose or voted in a reliable condition in any leadership position in a clear or transparent means, because anyone that force him or herself into leadership through manipulation, rigging or grab and run will never experience peace or progress. They will continue being confused to the end of their reign. Nigerians should wake up and do the needful. Victor from Ota. Kudos, Mr. Souls. That's good. That's a good example of what Mazi Kanu has been alarming in this terrorist of APC has come to destroy. And because we all know we have paralyzed the state by keeping Nnamdi in jail. Let Igbo leaders continue playing politics just to please the president. Mommy Samuel from Ayobo. I greet VOP station and the guests this afternoon. They will continue to deceive those that want to be deceived by them. Let them come off it. Let them come off it. Eyes of Nigerians are clearly opened now. Enough of the propaganda. Mr. Sam from Ijegun. The light is too expensive and we are not feeling any subsidy in it. They must want to make Nigerians suffer paying light bills. What do we even enjoy in this Nigeria as citizens? Peter from Mende. I disagree with your guests with the type of government we practice. The governors are just emulating the president in wastage and corruption. If the president changes today, all the governors will change and the money is worthless compared to before. John from Ijaniki. Solomon, how would a sensible government remove subsidy from the people and hand it over to the governors? Can we question a sitting governor in Nigeria? On paper, yes, we can, but in reality, we can't. And I think a sensible government should be aware of this before making such a decision. President Tinubu did this just to gain the governors' loyalty, and is working for them. About 30 governors are now in APC, so this administration is a joke. They know absolutely nothing about governance. AY from Moshi. He said it all. Your guest is a seasoned and versatile analyst. Kudos. Come 2027, Nigerians should shine their eyes. Let us go for the best. Enough is enough. Alex. Good afternoon, Solomon. This taxing the daylight of Nigerians by your president. I want to ask, all the subsidy money, borrowings of billions from IMF and World Bank, PAC and tariff, bank tax, agbero tax, what is it used for? Rather, they are looting and living their luxurious lifestyle, telling us to tighten up your belt. Because of this tax, is more than 7.2 million private, public and SMEs shut down because of the economic policies. You have highlighted you have highest unemployment rates in the country. Also, you weaponize poverty because of election gains. Lekon from Lagos. Thank you very much, Lekon. Good afternoon, Solomon. Please, let's keep sentiment aside and say the truth. Does it mean that there was no governors in 36 states of Nigeria between 2011 and 2024? Wooing governors through the ruling party is the essence of giving them more fund. Correct from Bariga. Good afternoon, King Solomon, and the guests in the studio. Executives are pushing us to meet the governors because they are collecting more monies. The governors are also executives, are collecting more money than before. Please, let's educate ourselves concerning the allocations being shared. The federal government is take 52%, while the 36 governors plus Abuja is sharing 48%. Please, what are the federal government doing with their own money? Please, can the blind lead the blind? The answer is capital no. Your president is so far spending close to 40 billion naira just in 2 years for traveling. Quite unfortunate for Tinubu government and his followers. Mayor from Ikotun Egbe. Thank you very much, Mayor. Charles Don from Satellites. Solomon, please, why are you not talking about the removal of Igbos from the history book that are newly launched to schools curriculum? Okay. Good afternoon, Solomon and listeners. With this kind of topic that APC gives you people to give your attention to, they'll continue to deceive and get away from your failures. They are now pushing it to state governors, whereas the main problem of the country now is a result of floating of naira and subsidy policies that pushed the nation's inflation to over 500% with the attendant economic collapse. They retrieved the subsidy from the people and gave it to the governors and themselves, and now tell us rash. During his time in opposition, Tinubu didn't blame the problem of Nigeria on the state governors, but everything was heaped on Goodluck Jonathan then. So why the excuse? Comrade Godfrey from Surulere. Thank you very much. This is where we're going to go. There are lots of messages, but unfortunately I have to go. Thank you very much. Now, this is what we're talking about. We are not resolving the federal government from the blame. At the end of the day, it will always come from the head. Now, if you listen to VOP very often and very frequently, you know how we criticize the government, the federal government, when there is something to criticize them for. But at the same time, you also need to understand that you can't blame the federal government 100% for what is going on in this country. While they get the lion's share of the blame, governors like Oti of Abia State and governors like Makinde of Oyo State also tells us that these governors have their parts to play. These governors are still under the same APC federal government. These governors are still governors of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If these governors can do something in their states, the other governors can follow suit irrespective of the bad policies from the federal government. The other governors can still make the residents and of their states live better despite the bad policies from the federal government. At least 2 examples have told us that. Okay, so while we blame the federal government a whole lot for what is going on in this country, the governors, the local government chairmen still need to take their share of the blame. That is what today's topic is all about. Thank you very much. We'll be right back tomorrow. The program is Matters and Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It comes your way Mondays to Fridays, 1:30 to 3 p.m. Choma Innocent will be here tomorrow, while I'll be back on Thursday. Once again, appreciation to our analyst for today, Dele Fanimo, a seasoned media practitioner, Mr. Dele, Mr. Fanimo. Thank you very much. And I'll be right back on Thursday again. Don't forget to follow our VOP on all our social media handles at VOP. At VOP 903 FM, all our social media handles, and of course don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP 903 FM. Don't forget to follow me on IG at SoloFem1 and on Twitter at SoloFem. I am Solomon.